Last week, we talked about the writing process, and this week, we're going to go back to the concept of what I said about the writer's toolbox, which includes kind of the nitty gritty parts about writing. So, previously in the writer's toolbox, we put in like how to capitalize letters, like when to do that, commas and quotes, and summarizing. So, for this week in the writer's toolbox, we're going to focus on a part of the writing process of how would you construct your essay and put it together? And you would do that by organizing your essay and making things like your thesis sentence, which is the sentence that summarizes the overall idea of the whole paper, and then writing your introduction paragraph that starts the paper and a conclusion paragraph that starts the paper. Now, if you remember what I said last week about taking notes and how it's going to be real important for you doing well throughout the rest of the semester, the same applies for this week. Take very good notes on how to do introduction paragraphs, conclusion paragraphs, thesis sentences, because you're going to be using these in pretty much all the essays you write in this class. Now, what you have due this week are two quizzes, and they're both due by Sunday. Quiz A covers the writing process that we read about last week, and Quiz B is going to cover what you're learning this week about the toolbox, these items here. Now, last week I recommended that you do Quiz A while that information was fresh in your mind. So if you already did that, then the only thing you're left with for this week is Quiz B over this material. And I don't think it will take you very long to go through this material. So what that means is if you want, you can just kind of take the week off a little bit, relax, or you can work ahead. And I might recommend and encourage you to work ahead a little bit. And if you choose that option, what I would do is go into Unit 3, and then in our textbook for our Mind Tab, the College Writer textbook, read the section in that unit, in that folder that says narration, description, and reflection. That's going to give you an introduction to the narrative essay you'll be writing in week 6. And it's also going to give you an idea of what to look for in the forum for week 5. So week 5, you're going to be asked to find an example of narration in a workplace field that you're interested in. So if you're interested in computer science, find out how computer scientists may use narration in their everyday work. Now, you're going to be asked to find a document that has that narration or narrative, and that might be a little tricky for some of you. So I've given you some links to some resources that may kind of help you within the message for this week. So that would be one way that I would consider working ahead a little bit, trying to read that chapter in Unit 3 and maybe start looking for that source for your forum. And if you go and look at the prompt in the forum, it should be clear to you what you're being asked to do. So that's my recommendation. Finish up what we're learning about the writing process and learning about these items in your toolbox, and then if possible, work ahead. Now, if you have any questions about anything or working ahead, questions on the forum for next week, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer your questions and give you help with that homework.